Corrupt police, a global epidemic. As we can see in this video, Chinese police are hitting the citizens sitting alongside the wall. This is a problem in China today. The police are brutally hitting and even killing innocent citizens. In one report by the Shanghai East, it stated that a woman was randomly beaten by an officer when a man walked up to try to videotape the officer. This is the man now, dead. The report stated that after the man was killed, hundreds of people gathered and began yelling and throwing things at the officers for killing an innocent man. Here we see an elderly woman being roughed up by officers known as the Changguan. They dismantled her small restaurant and confiscated things without any warrants. The Changguan are known as China's thuggish para-police. As stated in The Diplomat, the Changguan are found to have made a threat to rather than a guarantee of public safety. Because there is little to no official supervision, training, or discipline for their actions, they continue to cause serious injury or death, illegal detentions, and unlawful confiscation of property. Just like in the report by the Human Rights Watch of the elderly woman being abused by the Changguan. The corruption continues. In the documentary China's Foul Play, officers illegally arrested people and even arrested a 7-year-old girl. So if it is the police that is hurting us, who are we supposed to go to when we are scared or in need of help? Like we see in the comic, when someone is hurt, we always ask, did you go to the police? But now more than ever in China, it is the police that are hurting and not helping. One major factor to the rise in Chinese police killing is the rise on the gun ban law. Because of the assumed terrorism in China, police have started carrying guns for the first time in years, while their training still reflects when they didn't carry guns, by the Washington Post. Now, if you're lucky enough to not be shot and just arrested, you may find yourself not lucky at all. As quoted from the International Society for Human Rights, almost every detainee in China has to or has had to suffer being beaten and kicked. Because of this torture by Chinese police, once released from detainment, many victims find themselves covered in bruises, and many of these injuries don't receive any medical care, which can later lead to infection, serious pain, and even death. Gangs in China, forcing innocent disabled children to beg for change. These are known as beggar gangs. They keep kids captive while only giving them the bare essentials to keep them alive, and day after day they drop them off to beg for money while being on close supervision. They also find healthy kids and break their legs to gain more sympathy to get more money. A person reported what was going on and was turned away by police because they said it wasn't their problem to deal with, as stated by the South China Morning Post.
The Nigerian police perpetrate crimes against citizens they are mandated to protect. The HumanRightsWatch.org states the Nigerian police have been unprofessional and corrupt since 1930. The citizens of Nigeria describe the police as meat eaters or grass eaters. Meat eaters abuse powers aggressively, misusing these powers for personal gain. Grass eaters accept bribe as a form of corruption. According to Independent.uk, Italian and Nigerian gangs have worked together to create a large human trafficking industry, as it is the third largest criminal enterprise in the country. There is a lack of legal action taken by police officers to combat human trafficking ran by Nigerian gangs. Politicians even use stolen public funds to sponsor gangs to rig the elections violently. There is no equal protection in Nigeria as well, as criminal suspects can bribe police to avoid arrest, detention, and prosecution. Victims must also bribe the police in order for them to pursue criminal. In 2009, 100,000 police officers were working as personal guards for the wealthy. Police frequently demand bribes at roadside checkpoints, and drivers unable to pay up are subject to sexual assault, torture, and extrajudicial killing. This severely undermines the rule of law in Nigeria. Recently, Independent Nigeria reported of a killing of a bus driver because he only had an N50 when a police officer demanded N100. He was shot immediately, and the conductor of the bus was shot in the leg. Recently, the government has passed reforms to raise wages of police to decrease bribery. However, they still don't hold police accountable for their human rights violations, violence, and bribery. The ethnographic fieldwork in the Lagos State by Daniel E. Abiboa talks to the rotten apple theory. The task of corruption control is to examine the barrel, not just the apples, the organization, not just the individuals in it, because corrupt police are made, not born. Nigeria should start this off by holding senior officers who engage in criminal conduct accountable.
In the scholarly article Complaints Against the Police in China, it stated that over the past few years, law enforcement have tried to stop referring to themselves as parental officers, like they are better, but rather as service officers. As well as the China State Council has enacted the Complaints Rule 2005. The police departments have become more welcoming, storefront-like departments so that people feel more welcome to come and talk to the officers. We need to stop police corruption today. We can see that even in developing countries like Nigeria, there is major police corruption, and even in developed countries like China.
Just because a country is developed or undeveloped does not excuse police misconduct. These countries should work in a way to end that discrimination against their citizens and the corruption. It is a violation of human rights and not excusable in any form.
We need to stop police corruption today.